welcome to the session. Topic of this session is agricultural price policy. The price is concerned to all, being a farmer, being a consumer, being a trader, being a government, it is concerned to all, because the farmers, they want the remunerative prices for their produce, they want maximum share in the price paid by the consumer, so that they can have more input, they can use the high high improved technology or improved technology, so that they can produce more. On the other side, the consumer want the agriculture produce, particularly the food grains and other vegetables and milk at reasonable prices, so that it does not adversely affect their household budget. The trader also want the maximum share in the market prices, so that they can run their business successfully. And the government want to balance in all the stakeholder of the agricultural community, being a farmer, consumer or a trader, and the government is having the objective to the promote, to stimulate the economic growth. So they have to maintain a good balance of the prices of agriculture commodity, so that they promote the growth of the agriculture sector and also the growth of the overall economy in the country. And various measures have been adopted time to time in the agriculture price policy. And the earlier, in the initial stage or in the initial years, basically the price policy focuses on the regulations to control the food grain prices, because there was a food shortage, so there was a high rise in the food grain prices, so that's why the government actually they want to regulate the food grain prices. But the later on the focus shifted, and the focus was to provide the remunerative prices to the farmers, so that farmers can produce more and more to support the agriculture economy as well as the national economy. So in this session, basically we will be discussing about the various policy action taken by the government time to time, and to provide a balance in the prices of the agriculture commodity. So prices plays important role in the producer's decision making process. The producer decide what crop to grow based on the prices, the prevailing prices in the market, and basically it work as a incentive for the farmers to produce more, and basically they can produce more by investing more and more in agriculture production activity. And basically, so a balanced price policy basically help in maintaining the demand and supply equilibrium in the economy, because if there is a low price, there will be more demand. If the high prices, there will be more supply. So the balanced prices is important to maintain a equilibrium between the demand and supply. And the importance, when we talk about the importance of the agriculture price policy, basically the price policy influence the allocation of the resources for achieving the objective of the growth and equitable distribution of the income. And the price policy also affects the capital formation in the industrial sector by influencing the distribution of the income, wages rate, profits and net government revenue, because where the more investment will be there, where the good prices are there, the more production activity is there. Basically it ultimately affects the income distribution in the country, the wages, the profit and also the government revenue. And price policy work as a multiplicity of the function in economy, because it affect basically the allocation of the resources between the agriculture sector and non-agriculture sectors. Also within the agriculture sector, so the basically price policy decides where more investment is there. If the price policy support the agriculture sector, more resources will be there in the agriculture sector. So actually the price policies decide, help it basically decide it help in taking decision where to allocate the resources. and the price policy basically supports in the facilitation of higher rates of saving and investment. If good prices is there in the agriculture sector, there will be more income, so more saving in the agriculture sector, so more investment in the agriculture sector. So in this way it facilitates the saving and investment, and also it help in the distribution of income among the region, sectors and income groups. And the price policy have different objectives, and most important objective of the agriculture price policy is to augment the agriculture production and provide agriculture commodity to consumer at reasonable prices. So we have dual objective of the agriculture price policy. Basically we want to support the farmer producers so that they have more production from the agriculture sector, and also we want to provide the commodity to the consumer at a reasonable prices. And basically the maintenance of the relationship between the prices of the different sectors like agriculture sector and non-agriculture sector is very important. So this is also one of the objective, to maintain the relationship between the price of the agriculture sector and non-agriculture sector, and also the maintaining relationship between the food and non-food crops and between the competitive crop. And the other objective of the agricultural price policy is to minimize the margin between the producer prices and the consumer prices, because we have observed there is a large gap, there is a large spread between the producer prices and the consumer prices. The share of the producers in the consumer paid prices is less. So actually through the price policy we want to reduce this gap. And also we have the objective of the price policy is to minimize the seasonal and cyclical fluctuation in agriculture prices, because we have observed that in the harvest season there is a decline in the prices, in the off season there is a high prices, there is a rise in the prices. So actually we want to through the price policy we want to reduce this the fluctuation. And actually through the price policy the government want to bring about the greater price integration in various regions. So actually there should be harmony between the different region of the country in the prices basically. And actually through the price policy we want to achieve in the producer, the producing surplus area, or there is a demand area, the region where from the demand is there. So there should be a proper integration, there should be not much gap or price variation. Then the stabilization of the general price level is also another objective, because agriculture prices affect the inflation in the country, inflation of the economy. So actually maintaining the inflation or keeping the inflation under the control, we also need to have the stabilization in the agriculture prices. So that is also objective. And actually through the agriculture price policy we want to ensure a proper price relationship between the farm produced and input purchased. So actually there should be proper parity between the farm produced prices of the farm produced and the prices of the input purchased. And we want to increase the production of the various goods needed by the country. So actually we give price support in which commodities for which demand is more, like there is a lot of support on the pulses and on the oilseed crops, because there is a need of this, we are importing the pulses and oilseeds. That's why we need to increase the production of the pulses and oilseeds. So that's why there is more support on the pulses and oilseed. Then they maintain equilibrium between the demand and supply of the different agricultural commodities. So we want to maintain the demand and supply, and then we want to make available the commodity to consumer at fair prices. So this is also one of the objective of the agricultural price policy. Various interventions were started in the pricing of agricultural commodity in the independence period and also in the post-independence periods. And during the pre-independence period, basically the price policy was revolved around the controlling any rise in the food grain prices, because there was a shortage of the food grain. So that's why there was a rise in the prices. So the major focus was to control the rises in the food grain prices. And basically in the December 1941, and selling on wheat prices were started in the erstwhile Punjab state. And after that, in the May 1942, the food grain control order was passed, and through this food grain control order, there was a ban on the interstate movement, and also the licensing of the food grain traders were started in the May 1942. And in the December 1942, a Department of Food was created, and then in the July 1943, the Food Grain Policy Committee was appointed for minimization of price fluctuation. And this committee basically recommended that there should be a statutory price control in the country, and in the major city there should be rationing of the food grain. Means the distribution of the food grain should be through rationing shop, and then the country should start the procurement and import of the food grain, so that the food grains would be provided to the people of the country. And then also they have introduced the concept of the parity in the price fixation. Then in the December 1942, a price subcommittee on agriculture was appointed, and basically purpose was to suggest the way to stabilize the agriculture product prices. And this committee, the price subcommittee, recommended that there should be a provision of guarantee about the farm commodity prices, and there should be guaranteed price for the farm produce, and there should be reasonable parity between the agricultural and non-agricultural incomes. And this committee recommended for fixation of minimum prices of the food grain, and also for fixation of minimum prices for crop based on fair average quality. So the quality concept were also brought by this committee. And then the regulation of acreage under individual crop should be there based on the demand. So for the commodity where more demand is there, we should have more acreage allocation for the production. And then this committee also recommended that there is a need to have a national level organization for implementation of the price policy. The post-independence price policy, and actually that time, at the time of independence, the country was facing the food shortage, and there was a lot of challenges to meet the food requirement in the country. And the prices of the most food grains were ruling high. There was a high prices of the food grain crops that time, and the price measures were mainly directed at arresting the price rise. So the main purpose of that time of the price policy was to arrest the rising prices. And so that time actually it was felt that we need to have more acutely monitoring requirement is there, and we need to have monitor properly the price situation in the country. And in November 1953, an agriculture price committee was appointed under the chairmanship of Mr. P. Thapar, and this committee recommended that there is a need to have improvement in the data collection, and also in the analysis of the data, and there should be proper market news system for the better market intelligence. So Thapar committee basically recommended for the data collection of the cost of the production also, and the prices in the market, arrival in the market, and there should be proper information available to the all stakeholder in the country. Agriculture price fluctuation review committee also appointed in the 1954, and the chairman Dr. M.V. Krishnappa, and this committee basically suggested the ways for the minimization of the interstate and inter-regional price dissimilarities, and the seasonal fluctuation in the price of the agriculture commodities. And then in the 1957, Food Grain Inquiry Committee was appointed under the chairmanship of Mr. Ashok Mehta, and this committee suggested a number of the recommendation to improve the to monitoring the pricing situation in the country, and this committee recommended that the purchasing of stock in the harvest season is important, and this purchased stock can be sold in the lean season. And then this committee also recommended that direct sale of the food grain through the ration shop. So for the establishment of ration shop, there was a recommendation from this committee. And then the guaranteeing of the minimum prices to the farmers. So farmers should also be supported by providing some minimum prices. And then compulsory procurement and maintenance of sizable buffer stock was also recommended by this committee. And then this buffer stock can be supplied to the vulnerable section, and then whenever requirement is there, the country should import the food grain also. This was also one of the recommendation from this committee. And then progressive socialization of wholesale trade and regulation through the licensing of the trader was also recommended by this committee. And this committee also suggested that there is a need to have a body like price stabilization board, so that it suggests time to time the price policy in the country. And after the 1960, a different policy came, but there was a major shift in the emphasis from the physical control and regulation of prices to the provision of incentive to farmers for augmenting production and supply. So before 1960, there was a major focus on the controlling of the supply of the goods, but now the focus shifted from the physical control to providing incentives so that farmers produce more, farmers produce the required quantity and commodity in the country. And then food grain price committee under the chairmanship of Mr. L.K. Jha was appointed in the 1964, and purpose of this committee was to advise on the determination of producer prices for the food grain and to suggest suitable terms of reference for an agency for advising the government on price policy and price structure on a continuous basis. And basically this committee recommended that there should be minimum support prices for different food grain to be fixed for the 1964-65 season. And then there is a need to establishment of an agriculture price commission, and this commission basically will provide advice on agriculture price policy and price structure, so that it help in raising the agriculture production and also give relief to the consumer. And so based on this committee recommendation, Agricultural Price Commission was established in the country in the year 1965, and the terms of reference were fixed for this Agriculture Price Commission. And the important terms of reference are basically is the advice on the price policy of agriculture commodity, keeping in view the need of the economy, interest of the consumer and the producer. And this committee basically recommended the measures necessary to make the price policy effective. And then the another work was assigned to this commission was basically examine the method and cost of marketing and monitor the price situation and to make appropriate recommendations, studies on the price policy, and basically arrange for the collection of the information like cost of cultivation or the arrival conditions. So so this commission was assigned the job of studying, reviewing the data and study. And basically the commission role is also to advise on the any problems related to agriculture prices and production. And basically then in the 1966 a food grain policy committee was appointed. Purpose was to suggest measure to check the fluctuation in the food grain prices again. And this committee made several recommendations, suggestions, and then basically the major suggestion was to have the fixation of the minimum support and procurement prices every year, and in the maintenance of a sizable buffer stock to minimize the price fluctuation in the country, then entrusting the job of procurement and distribution of food grain to the Food Corporation of India, and then increase in the number of fair prices so to distribute the food grain to the poor people in the country, and then the procurement from the farmers of surplus production area. So, this committee recommended that then we need to start the procurement from the surplus production area, and then also this committee basically suggested on the regulation and licensing of the food grain trader. And this committee also recommended that we need to provide the incentive to the farmer in the form of the subsidy, like we provide the subsidy of the fertilizer, so that we can increase the production. Starting technical committee on indices of input cost was important in the year 1967, and the chairperson of this committee was Dr. Ashok Mehta. And then this committee basically recommended that we need to have a comprehensive scheme for studying the cost of cultivation of the principal crops, and then this scheme was started in the year 1970-71, and this scheme basically is being done in the 16 states, and 29 crops are covered under this scheme. And basically this scheme is operated by the Directorate of Economics and Statistics, Ministry of Agriculture and Farmers Welfare, Government of India. And basically this scheme is basically implemented by the 13 agricultural universities and 3 general universities in the country. And main objective of this study, this comprehensive scheme, was to generate estimates of the cost of cultivation, production, and make available to the CACP or Agriculture Price Commission. So basically a scheme was started to study the cost of cultivation, and based on that the estimates of the cost of cultivation, basically this data is provided to the Commission for Agriculture Cost and Prices, and then that is basically Agriculture Price Commission, and then based on this cost estimation of the production data, the CACP recommended the government about the minimum support prices, and the determination of the administrative prices was basically important part of the agriculture price policy. And with the government, with the consultation of CACP, the Commission for Agriculture Cost and Prices decides the administrative prices, and while deciding this level, the government strike a balance between several interests, the interest of the farmers, interest of the consumer, interest of the trader, and the Commission takes several factors into account while recommending the policy measure to the government, like cost of the production, changes in the input prices and input output price parity. So these are the different criteria they undertake while recommending prices to the government. Determination of administrative prices also depend on the trend in the market prices, demand and supply situation of agricultural commodities in the country, and intercrop price parity, the price relationship between the different crop, and then effect on the industrial cost structure, how it will affect the cost of the industrial output, and then effect on the general price levels, and the effect basically on the inflation, then effect on the cost of living of the consumers and the farmers also. Then while deciding the administrative prices, government also consider the the international price situations, and there is a parity between the prices paid by and price received by the farmer. And basically there are 3 types of the administrative prices. One is the minimum support prices, and at these prices government is committed to buy the quantity offered by the farmers, and farmers is not obliged to sell to the government. And the procurement prices, and at this prices basically government buy at its discretion without any compulsion on the part of the farmer, and certain quantity, and the farmer is not obliged to sell to the government. Then levy prices, here the farmers is obliged to sell a specified quantity to the government, and he is free to sell the remaining part to the surplus in the open market. And there are different methods, alternative method to suggest the administrative prices, like in the market price method, cost plus method, the parity method, and the compressive method. And cost of production is an important factor in deciding the support prices. Then parity method is basically considered the unit cost of commodity retain the same purchasing power in terms of the other commodity. And there are several notion of the parity in the input output parity, the parity between the price of farm product and their derivatives, the intercrop price parity, and the parity between price received and price paid by the farmers, and parity with international prices. And then in 1980 the terms of trade of the Agriculture Price Commission was revised and then renamed as the Commission for Agriculture Cost and Prices. And as per the new criteria, the price policy basically it should be a balanced and integrated price structure should be there. And then the terms of reference also include the non-price measures to achieve the objectives. And this commission also suggests to make the price policy effective in the country. And there are revised terms of trade which include the change in the basically consider the change in the terms of trade, and they examine the method of marketing and suggest measures to reduce the marketing cost. And then also monitor dowling pricing situation and submit appropriate measures, and then undertake different studies and also review the different studies related to price policy and the methods of data collection, and advise on any problem related to agriculture prices and production. And the government announce every year before starting of the sowing season, the minimum support prices is announced by the government, and the target is to provide the 50% return over the the cost of the production, all the cost of the paid price of the that included in the cost of production. So every year the government decide as before the starting of the kharif season, before starting of the rabi season, government announce and some of the commodities the return is more than the 50%, like in case of wheat the return presently is 109%, in case of the barley 66%, in case of the grams 74% return, in case of the rapeseed and mustard 90%, because we need to have more production of these commodities. So that's why there is more incentives and more return is provided on these commodities. And for horticultural commodities which have some of the horticultural commodities, they have the high volatility in the prices of the commodities like onion and potato, and they basically this volatility affect the consumers adversely, and they it affect adversely the food consumption budget of the household. And that's why the government started new sectoral scheme, and basically purpose is to provide the working capital and other incidental expenses for procurement and distribution of these perishable agriculture or basically the horticulture commodities. And for that purpose, a price stabilization fund was set up as a corpus to help in the procurement and distribution of this commodity in the country. And objective of this price stabilization fund is to promote the direct purchase from the farmers and farmers associations at farm gate prices or mandi prices, and to maintain a strategic buffer stock that would discourage hoarding and unscrupulous speculations by the traders, and to protect the consumer by supplying such commodity at reasonable prices through calibrated release of the stock. And basically this price stabilization fund was implemented on the the onion and potato, but now it is extended to all horticulture commodities. And the Small Farmers Agribusiness Consortium SFSC is the nodal agency to implement this scheme of price stabilization fund. And to sum up this session, that the basically to advise on the price policy of agricultural commodity, we have the Agriculture Price Commission that is now renamed as a central, the Commission for Agriculture Cost and Prices, and this commission basically was set up in the 1965, and the purpose was to evolve a balanced and integrated price structure in the perspective of the overall need of the economy. And basically while deciding this integrated price structure, due importance is given to the interest of the producer and the consumer, and basically MSP is announced before start of the sowing season. And presently MSP, the minimum support price, provide at least 50% return over to the all paid up cost of the production. And for horticultural commodities, the price stabilization fund was set up to tackle the volatility in the price of this onion and potato and other horticultural crops. So that's why a number of the policy measures were taken to provide the remunerative price to the farmers, and also to provide the commodity to the consumer at a reasonable prices. Thank you very much.